Hey guys, so I've just finished Letters from the Lighthouse, another Emma Carroll book. I read Secrets of a Sun King recently, and by God, it was probably the book of the year for me, certainly top 2 or 3. This had a similar feel to it. I know Emma Carroll has often been compared to Enid Blyton, and people often mention her Blyton-esque writing style, and this had very similar tones and took me right back. Similar to Secrets of a Sun King, this is a story with strong historical themes running through it. This story focuses on a young boy and a young girl. Olive is the girl's name, boy's name, can't quite remember, but essentially they are children who are affected by the Second World War. They start by living in London, but there's strong rumours that they're going to be evacuated, and that's something that happens very early on in the book. Just prior to them being evacuated though, during a air raid, their sister Suki, their older sister, disappears. So just before they're evacuated, their sister, who they're very, very close to, disappears from their life. Now, Olive and her brother, I'm trying to remember her brother's name, give me a second, Cliff, her brother's name is Cliff. Olive and Cliff end up in Devon. They end up on the coast in a very small seaside town. Things are a bit strange in that town. The children who are evacuated aren't the most welcome, and in fact the lady who Olive and Cliff end up staying with initially doesn't even want them. So they end up being moved to live in the lighthouse with the lighthouse keeper. Now Olive and Cliff, they start to notice that things are a little bit strange in this town. People are acting a little coy, and Olive actually notices a note with a code on in the coat that her sister was wearing prior to her disappearance. So as the story unfolds, as things develop, Olive seems to piece the clues together and realises that the town that they are in and some key individuals in the town are actually working to try and bring some refugees, some of the Jewish individuals from Austria and through France. They're trying to bring some of those people into the country illegally. Now, what I would say is it's a really, really good book. It's a very, very engaging story, and it had me turning the pages constantly. What I would say is, compared to Secrets of a Sun King, the story did halt slightly. I think the main plot ended at about page 200, and we had lovely, important themes running through it for the last 80 pages or so. But I found after sort of page 200, we were more focusing on key messages, the importance of sort of understanding this period of history, the themes of acceptance, strong messages against the horrors that were happening in Nazi Germany at that time, and educationally I think it was very, very powerful from that point onwards. I think the style of writing is wonderful, the description in this book is truly superb, but as I say, most importantly, I think this book handles some very, very sensitive issues, but some issues that absolutely must be read, understood, and not hidden from children in this day and age. It's something that really got me thinking, God, I'm so lucky, so fortunate. I take so many things for granted, and these children, and so many children like them, and so many people around the world at that time had things so tough compared to what we have today. So I think in terms of this book, where we could use it in the classroom, we've got certainly the historical aspect, we've got the Second World War, Nazi Germany, we've got the English aspect in terms of descriptive writing, setting descriptions, character analysis. There's loads that can be done there. We've got loads and loads and loads of messages that could be linked to sort of PSHE curriculum, friendships, accepting differences, essentially just treating each other how we would want to be treated, something that clearly didn't happen in this period of history. So it's a very, very good book. It's a book that quite rightly is held in very high regard by so many teachers. It's often a book that I see being used in a Year 6 classroom, and I'd say with the sensitive content and quite heavy vocabulary throughout the book, that's where I'd suggest it sits best. But that was Letters from the Lighthouse by Emma Carroll. I thought I'd give a quick mention to the book that I've just moved on to. That is The Emergency Zoo. I'm going to just double check how to pronounce the author's name. It's Miriam Halami. This again is a book that's focusing on the wartime. It's based just before the beginning of the Second World War in 1939, and it essentially focuses on what is going to happen to everybody's pets during the war. The children are being evacuated. Who's going to look after them? We find out who might just do that. So, hope you've enjoyed it. Do give it a thumbs up if you've liked the video. That would be super. And yeah, hit subscribe. That would be handy as well. Cheers, guys. Have a nice evening.